Thank you for joining us for another episode of Experience, Strength, and Hope podcast. My name is Catherine, and our host Tony will be joining us shortly. Our goal is to bring stories that make you laugh, smile, and even cry, but most of all, give you hope. Please don't forget to support us by subscribing to our YouTube channel and following us on Spotify, Amazon Music, and Apple Podcasts. Again, I'm Catherine, and I hope you enjoyed today's show.
You might be wondering, what's today's podcast about? Atomic Dog. Story time. Watch it. Tell me what you think. Atomic Dog. Nothing but the dog in me.
Okay, this little short real podcast, little short story, as he always says, story time is about my dog, Louie. And when I grew up, I had one dog when we grew up. His dog name was Gus, and we got him from one of my mom's friends up from work. And they were, I think, as I remember, they were a Caucasian family he came for. So we brought him from up north, probably all the way down south, on the south side of Chicago. So, it probably took him a little adjustment to get used to, eating table scraps instead of good high quality dog food, because people when I grew up, they ain't spend all that money on dog food and dogs. Most of the time your dog lived in the yard. We had a dog that lived in the house. He used to sit up on the couch with his paws crossed, waiting on some gray poop hunt, and some Perrier water, And so that was my first dog that I had. But when I joined the military, I had a couple of dogs too. I had a Doberman Pinscher that was like crazy. I used to keep him out on the porch. And, when I got him, he was a little small, cute little puppy. That dude grew up and he was kind of vicious and crazy. So I had to get rid of him. Time went on, where my next dog is I purchased a chow, and a big, beautiful chow with big, beautiful hair. And any of you ever seen the chow dogs? They're beautiful dogs. But that dog was nuts. He only liked my daughter, Trina. He didn't like nobody else, and, he had all his fur. So when it was snow outside, we would think about bringing him in, but he had all his fur. He would never want to come in. You go to try to feed him. If I try to feed him, he'll try to bite me or something or go crazy and all that. And so I never fed him, and then we finally realized he had some psychological problems because, he started doing crazy things like he was jumping over the fence with the leash around his neck, because he kept running away. And so I chained him up outside to the doghouse, to where he would be near it, and had his padding and everything in there. But he kept jumping over the fence with the leash around his neck. So I thought he was suicidal or something. But then I found out he really was suicidal because, we stayed behind this grocery store at the time. And when these trucks would come down the street to make deliveries, big semi-trailer, he'll run out and jump right in front of the truck, like he wanted the truck to hit him. And, they had to hit on brakes and stuff like that. I said, this dog is trying to kill himself. He's not happy here, And so we ended up rehoming him and transitioning him out of our house, because things weren't going right. But we wanted him to be happy and get the help that he needed. And so years had went by, we never had a dog. Went years, and I begged my wife for a dog. I begged her for a dog, begged her for a dog, begged her for a dog. And so we finally got a dog because I brought him home. He's a little Maltese, mixed with a Maltese and Shih Tzu, and beautiful little dog. So I got Louie, man, he was just a year old. And we had all these rules of what we were going to do with the dog, what we wasn't going to do. And my wife was like, I'm not into dogs, but the dog loved her. Want to be down by her feet when she's in the recliner. Want to follow her sometimes. Want to follow me. And he takes care of us, He's a beautiful dog. But the story is, my story time is, not too long ago, about a month ago, I was getting ready to go on a cruise, and my dog fell ill. He has the pictures of him. And he could hardly move, and he would not eat, drink, he couldn't walk. I had to carry him everywhere. We said, what is going on with him? And he kept regurgitating. So I got him to the vet early that morning. The next morning, I took him to the vet, and the vet said, get him to K-State quick, 20 minutes away. Get him there quick. Your dog is near death. So I got him up there to K-State, and they had me fill out all this paperwork and had me, try to tell us what was wrong with the dog and what they think may be wrong. And they say, well, he's probably going to need, at this point, we know right now he's going to need a blood transfusion. It'll be about this much. And then we're going to have to do all these tests to find out what's wrong. And I was like, blood transfusion on a dog? Yeah, but we got to figure out what type of blood did he use. And I was like, canine, I know he was different types, so he was up there for about a week, and they were just trying to find out what's wrong. They said, well, he's showing signs that he may we're looking for tumors. He may have some type of cancer because of his blood work and what's coming back on his blood. And he's not, the blood is not flowing well with them. He's, something's going on. So the next day they told me, after about 3 days, they said, we were going to do another scan of him. This time we're going to scope his stomach and do an ultrasound of him first, and then scope his stomach. Come to find out, he needed surgery. We didn't know what they say. It's something in his stomach that he swallowed that's causing the poison in his body. And he got almost like a 50-50 chance of making it and only if we do the surgery, he still has like a 50-50 chance. If we don't do the surgery, we don't know what's going to happen to him because he's a small dog and this poison, and he's got some type of poison in his body. No matter how many transfusions we do, it's just not really like taking. I don't know all the dog lingo and for veterinarians or whatever like that, but I was worried and I was devastated. So they called me that night. They said, Mr. Timms is going to be at the higher end. He has this and that. It's going to be this many thousands of dollars. So the doctor told me that we may be able to keep him alive. He may make it through this, but it's a 50-50 chance. Actually, she said it's a 75% chance that he doesn't make it. If we get past 3 days, it's a 50-50 chance that he can make it. It's going to cost more. It's going to call for more blood transfusions. It's going to cost for more testing, and also to remove the pennies from his stomach because it's causing a zinc poisoning. Because of after that certain year, they use zinc in pennies, and by him being a small dog like he is, it's causing extreme poisoning in him. And we just hope that he can make it, but it's going to cost you X amount of money, which was in the thousands of dollars, and I didn't have pet insurance. Thousands of dollars, and I'm thinking, for us never having a dog before. How am I going to tell my wife that I have to spend thousands of dollars on a dog? I'm getting ready to go on vacation. Thousands of dollars on Louis. How am I going to tell my wife this? And we getting ready to leave in a day or two. But I love my dog and everything. But it's going to be a lot of money for the surgery. Removal of the pennies, and also he may not even make it after this, she told me. So call my wife up, after she got a break from working. She was able to call me back and, what's wrong, Tony? How's Louis doing? What's going on with him? And I was like, I got to tell my wife this is going to be a lot of money to do this, and he may not even make it. So she said, so what did they say, honey? What did they say? I said, babe, they said he ain't gonna make it. He's not gonna make it. That's what they said.
The upper room with Jesus. Up, boom. Yeah, that's right. I tell you what, you die first, I'm gonna sing at your funeral and go up, boom.
He ain't gonna make it. No, I told her, what it was gonna cost and everything. But what I wanted to tell her is that, like, all dogs go to heaven, baby. He ain't gonna make it. So let's just pray and spend a little bit of money to get him cremated and get us another dog. Can't do that because he was a part of the family. I had to leave and go out of town. And I'm going to wrap this up real soon. I had to leave and go out of town. And so I left my dog. The vet didn't want to watch him. And the hospital, if I had to leave him there, it's going to be about $500 a day there. And the vet didn't want to chance it because of his condition. He may not live. So I did go out of town. My daughter, bless her heart, she Googled what to do in these type of instances because he wouldn't eat. And when he did drink water, he would just regurgitate it up. I had to carry him from here and there, carry him and lay him by his bowl. Here's the picture. And just hopefully that he would raise his head up and drink in that, But my daughter, she Googled some things to do and she they gave me all this expensive medication for Louis too. I forgot to tell y'all about this. Found out how to give him his medication, so she researched start him on beef broth or chicken broth. She started giving him broth in a syringe, then baby food in a syringe. And sooner or later, he became stronger. And we didn't know this. We were out on our vacation and found out how much stronger he was. And she sent us pictures of him doing this, doing that. I said, he's back to his old self again. And since he's back to his old self again, I let him know, first of all, dude, don't chew nothing off of this floor. Don't pick up. If you look at a penny, check the date if you want to swallow a penny. Make sure it ain't on 80-something on up that it's got zinc in it. You know what I'm saying? Check the date first. But don't be doing nothing that you're not supposed to. You don't be eating. I mean, he had a piece of something in his mouth the day I got back. Man, I about knocked it out. Man, get that out of your mouth. I'm not even chancing it no more because you know what, dude? Next time you may not make it. We're going to have to just trust in God for you next time because that's a lot of money for Louis. But I'm thankful that he's alive and he's well. Thankful for the people that helped save my dog. And, I was confident because I've heard that all dogs go to heaven. So I wasn't even worried about that point, but I was concerned about him being ill and not the dogs that I see that running, jumping, always into something. But when I got back off of my vacation, he was the same dog again. They spoiled him so much, he didn't want to come home with me, I don't think. They started feeding him table food. And that's the thing now. He won't even eat that dry dog food no more. He won't what I'm eating now because they started feeding him good food and good, food that they eat. He had been eating dry dog food or the refrigerated dog food. I thought I was doing well by getting that healthy pet dog food. But no, now he wants cornbread, greens, turnips. He wants some black-eyed peas, sweet potatoes, chicken, and steak, just like we eat now. That's my little story time about my dog. And I hope that you have the same love for your dog, too, if it comes to that point. Because who knows what might happen when they tell you got to spend $3,000 or $4,000 on a dog. You might be like me and say, you ain't going to make it, brother. I'm Tony the Mayor. Be blessed. Thank you.